Hello, friends. Do you love to travel and learn about new places and things? Great! Then you are in the right place. Join Jasmine the cat and Gracie the tortoise as they have fun exploring the USA, the world, and beyond.
Hello, friends. It's Jasmine, the jazzy gray cat, here with my bestie Gracie, the super smart tortoise. Say hi, Gracie.
Greetings, my good friends. Gracie here. I'm so glad you joined us today as we learn all about bears.
Bears! Like in the story Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I love the part about the nap. Although I think Goldilocks shouldn't have eaten all their porridge. She didn't even ask.
I agree. She needed to learn some more manners. Now let's get back to bears.
Or how about that movie, Brother Bear? That was a great story all about love and family.
Yes, Jasmine, that was a wonderful movie, but we're here to learn some facts about bears, not discuss stories or movies.
Okay, but bears are very popular.
They are. Perhaps that's because bears seem larger than life, being the largest mammals that live on land. These mammals are also related to both dogs and raccoons.
I knew they weren't related to cats. These furry guys can be found all over the world, in mountains and forests. There are lots of different kinds of bears, like the polar bear who loves the cold and lives at the North Pole. I wonder if he's besties with Santa. The black bear is the most common bear here in North America. The brown bear, or the grizzly bear, as it's called in North America, likes to live in lots of places, like the Americas, Europe, and Asia.
That's right. Some other types of bears are the Asiatic black bear, sun bear, and the sloth bear who lives in Asia. The spectacled bear looks like it's wearing glasses and lives in the Andes Mountains of South America.
We can't forget the panda bear from China. Those guys are so cute. Bears can get to be pretty huge, like up to 10 feet tall, like the Kodiak brown bear from Alaska. It's the largest bear and can weigh up to 1,700 pounds. The polar bear gets almost as big.
Bears have a wide head, large body with short legs and a tail. While the polar bear is white to help it blend in with the Arctic snow, most bears are brown, black, or reddish brown. Now, you would think that the black bear is always black, but this guy can actually be brown, blue-gray, or even white.
Well, that could be confusing. Maybe they should be called rainbow bears. Bears don't see very well, but they are great at smelling. That's why when people are camping in the woods, they have to be very careful and lock up all their food because a bear can smell it and will come and have a picnic. They are also great at climbing trees and swimming. What do bears eat besides people's picnics, Gracie?
Bears love meat. An ideal lunch for a polar bear is seal, walrus, or fish. Other bears enjoy meat and fish as well as plants, seeds, nuts, and berries.
Bears need to eat a lot in the summer and fall and get very fat because in the winter they hibernate or sleep. While they're sleeping, they don't even wake up to eat. They must be really tired.
Bears enjoy their own company and are almost always alone. Mother bears have from 1 to 4 cubs at a time. The cubs are cared for by the mother for almost 2 years before they're ready to be on their own.
That shows what good moms bears are. My bear of the day is the sun bear. I picked it because I like the name. Sunbeams are my favorite places to nap. So you figure a bear named for the sun would be all goldeny brown, right, Gracie?
I'm thinking no.
Sadly, you would be right. Actually, they should be called tongue bears because their tongue is 10 inches long. Very handy for scooping up yummy bugs to eat.
So, why are they called sun bears, Jasmine?
Turns out, these bears who live in Southeast Asia have a golden patch of fur on their chests that looks like the sun. Sun bears are the smallest bears, with boy bears only getting to be about 5 feet tall and weigh about 150 pounds. That's half the size of our American black bear. Good thing they live far away from each other.
I suppose it is. Anything else? These bears sound very interesting.
They're great at climbing trees. As a matter of fact, they spend lots of time at the treetops and build beds up there from twigs and leaves. But I bet they're not as comfy as my princess bed.
Probably not.
Sun bears munch on bugs, leaves, berries, and lizards. But they could also be called pooh bears because they love honey. They use their strong claws to rip open the hive, and then they use that super long tongue to guzzle up the yummy honey. They even eat the bees. Sun bears don't need to worry about bee stings because they have a nice thick fur to protect them. I really like these guys. Your turn, Gracie.
Terrific. My bear is the sloth bear from the subcontinent of India. These bears are not sloths, which is a very slow-moving creature. They were named after sloths because they have the same kind of long, shaggy fur and 3-inch claws like a sloth does. But this is where the resemblance ends, as sloth bears are very active. And sloth bears are actually cousins to the brown bears.
Got it. Anything else interesting?
Naturally. They are bigger than your sun bears, Jasmine, at 6 feet tall and up to 300 pounds.
Do they have any marks on their fur like my sun bear guys?
Actually, they do. It's not the shape of the golden sun, but they do have a white patch on their chests that is in the shape of the letter Y, O, or U.
So I guess you could call them alphabet bears. Really cute.
Sloth bears are the only bears that carry their cubs on their back. The babies grab onto that thick, shaggy fur and hang on tight.
Sun bears have that super long tongue. What cool feature does a sloth bear have, Gracie?
So glad you asked. Sloth bears have a long snout, which comes in handy when looking for their favorite snack, termites. To dig up these crunchy snacks, the bears dig a hole in the ground with their long, curved claws. Next, those snouts turn into vacuum cleaners and suck out those insects using the snout, tongue, and lips. Sloth bears can even close off their noses so that the termites go down their throats and not their nose.
Jinkies! A bear with its own vacuum cleaner. Super fun. Anything else?
I do have 1 or 2 more things. Like all bears, sloth bears have a great sense of smell to make up for their poor eyesight and their hearing, which is worse than even other bears. They don't hibernate and prefer to sleep at night. My last fact is sad. In the past, people would take the cubs from their mothers and train them to dance for people. But fortunately, that practice has stopped.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm sure they were great dancers, but taking cubs away from their moms was mean. And wild animals are happiest in the wild. Now I think it's time for bear jokes. Gracie, what do you call a wet bear?
I know, a drizzly bear. Jasmine, what's a bear's favorite pie?
I know. Blueberry. Yummy. Remember in the book Blueberries for Sal, how Sal and the bear got all mixed up together looking for those blueberries? That's a yummy story. But my favorite fact is that the Kodiak bear in Alaska is the largest bear of them all. How about you, Gracie?
My favorite fact was that black bears aren't always black, but can actually be brown, blue-gray, or even white. How about you, friends? What was your favorite fact? Don't forget to tell someone you love.
That's right, and come back next time as we start exploring the animals of North America. We're gonna start with those guys that love to build beavers. Bye now. Say goodbye, Gracie.
Goodbye, my dear friends. See you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining Jasmine and Gracie on their adventure today. Come back next week for the next one.
Hello, everybody. It's Gwen here. If you want to know more about the places we visited, just go to our website, jasmineandgracie.podbean.com, and go to the sources page, and you can find out all about the great places that we visited. See you next week. Bye-bye.